Georgia Tech, Colorado on Friday night. Man, I'm talking about the other Friday night game later in the show. That's Auburn and Baylor. Couple of dynamite non-conference battles. SEC, Big 12, Big 12, ACC. I think Baylor gets the win. I'll tell you why later on the show. But I think Georgia Tech goes into Boulder and wins this game for a couple of reasons. Number one, Haynes King has been in this offensive system for a couple of seasons now, knows exactly what he has to do. He's got Jamal Haynes back there at running back. Yes, they lose Eric Singleton. I'd feel better about Auburn, or he's at Auburn now. I'd feel better about Georgia Tech's chances coming into this game if they had Eric Singleton there. But then you remember, well, yeah, they're bringing a stud transfer from FIU at wide receiver. And is this a team that's rooted in the passing game? No, that's right. They're rooted in the rushing attack. Georgia Tech last year ran for about 180 yards a game. Colorado surrendered about 150 per. Now, these are different teams. I think Coach Livingston did a really good job upgrading Colorado's defense a season ago. That's still a team that I don't think they're quite. I have Colorado as a pullback team coming into this season. I think as a program, they can be completely fine. I think in 2026, if they have a strong offseason, they can go into that year, in my view, as a contender for the Big 12 championship. I don't think they are that this year. I think Caden Salter is closer to a bridge quarterback than a guy that's going to elevate you to the top third of a conference that has incredible competitive depth. But for this game in particular, Georgia Tech, who I don't think is sneaking up on anybody anymore. I hear a lot more national chatter about them all over the place. If Colorado cannot slow down or really take away the Georgia Tech run game, they're just going to struggle. I really think they're going to struggle in this game. I like Georgia Tech's talent. I like who they have coming back. I think Brent Key is a really, really good coach. And though I think Livingston's done a good job with the Colorado defense and making it better over the last for last season, I don't believe that Colorado is suddenly prepared to go against a team that is several years in. This feels, if we knew then what we know now, this would feel like a building towards year. Georgia Tech in the modern world might be a window program. We'll see what Brent Key's able to do. But if I'm right about that, this would be the window sort of year for Georgia Tech to go out and compete for an ACC championship, to try and make the college football playoff. I think they've got the roster to do it. I think they've got an experienced quarterback to do it who's not playing the first game in a new system. That is what Caden Salter is going to be doing for Colorado. Yes, I love Colorado's wide receivers. And I mean, boy, anytime you have the opportunity to give praise to Colorado's offensive line, you got to hesitate, right? You got to catch the words before they fully get out of your mouth and go, oh, wait, hold on. Do I want to do that? Do I really want to praise it? Look, they've brought in some dudes. Xavier Hill from Memphis, really good addition for the Buffs out of the portal. Jordan Seaton has got a college football experience under his belt, former 5-star recruit. All right, they can be pretty good. Are they ready to go up against Georgia Tech? I guess we're going to find out on Friday night in Boulder. The good news for the Buffs, they get this game at home. That crowd, it is going to be sold out. It is going to be on fire. Coming off of a 9-win season last year, as it should be. The fans in Boulder are exceptional. I think it's going to be a great college football scene. I can't wait to watch it. I just cannot get behind in my head. If Colorado proves me wrong, hey, good for you. Good for you going out and making a real statement early in this year that this will not be a regression season for the Buffs. But I, in good conscience, as someone who is going to actually pick this game, and I'll get to my score here in just a moment, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, this is the time Colorado just shuts down the rushing attack. No, I don't think this looks like the Nebraska game on the road last year, which turned out to be a pretty ugly loss for the Buffs early in the season. But I do think this will be a game that Georgia Tech wins. I think they go into Boulder. I want to double check the over-under real quick, according to our friends at FanDuel, because I'm curious how many points they they don't see a lot of points in this game either. 52.5. Georgia Tech is favored by 4.5 points. I will take the Yellow Jackets to win. I will take them to cover. I don't think there are a ton of points in this game. I think it's going to squeak. Veteran quarterback Caden Salter's experience, just not with Colorado yet. I think it'll squeak towards the over. I will take 31-24. I like Georgia Tech to go into Colorado and get the win. Another marquee game in college football this week. Let's pivot to the ACC favorite, Clemson, my preseason number 1 team in the conference, and LSU. Nobody in college football, except for maybe Hugh Freeze, needs a win more than Brian Kelly at LSU. The downside is LSU, who I'm applauding, again, because that's what I do here at Locked On College Football. When teams play legit non-conference games that no one forced them to schedule, but they realize, hey, we want to go out and prove we can play with the best. We want to go out and prove that we can, that we don't need to have a soft schedule to backdoor our way into the playoff. You know what? Thumbs up. Not everybody sees the sport that way. That's why teams shouldn't control their non-conference scheduling slate, but I digress. LSU needs this game more than Clemson. The problem is I just like Clemson more. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is the biggest matchup to watch in this game. You've got a couple of veteran quarterbacks who are 2 of my 5 favorites in the country. Garrett Nussmeier at LSU needs to protect the ball a little bit better. Cade Klubnik at Clemson, sure, at times maybe needs to, but not to the same extent that Nussmeier needs to protect the ball better. Both of those guys are proven, talented commodities. 2 of the most proven quarterbacks in all of college football this year. You don't have, amongst the upper echelon of teams, a lot of quarterbacks that you go, oh, I know what that guy is. Oh, I know how good he is because I've watched him do it for multiple seasons. These guys fit that bill. I like Garrett Nussmeier a lot. I like Cade Klubnik a lot. The team that wins this game is going to be the team that makes the other quarterback more uncomfortable, gets him off his spots, gets him into a couple of turnover-worthy situations, capitalizes on 1 or 2 of those spots, be it a fumble or an interception. That's what I think this game comes down to, is a close line. It is a close line. It is Clemson minus 3.5. I'm going to swallow that and take the favorite Clemson Tigers here as well. This is a great Tigers matchup because, man, you've got 2 really good teams, and both have playoff expectations. I think Clemson has slightly higher aspirations on the upper end. We'll see what Brian Kelly can do with a top-ranked transfer portal class. But Peter Woods at Clemson, how big of an impact can you have? Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins for LSU, can you get to Cade Klubnik enough? Once you answer that question, I think you're going to be able to tell me who wins this game. They're the traditional things like running the ball and converting on 3rd down or 4th down. Yeah, situational football is always going to be big. I only need to know 2 things to know who's going to win this football game. Which quarterback has been sacked and pressured combined more than the other guy in this game? Number 1, and number 2, who wins the turnover battle? You tell me those 2 things, you're going to be able to tell me, I think pretty confidently, who winds up winning this football game. But I can't wait. I would like to thank LSU and Clemson for giving us such a wonderful Week 1 matchup because it's one that we're all looking forward to in what is a great, not a good, a great Week 1 slate of college football games. I can't wait. Drop your predictions for Colorado, Georgia Tech, and LSU Clemson in the comments below.